Monogamous culture has us in this mind fuck that one person can be everything we need all the time for 50 years. Have you ever saw that be actually true?
Yeah. I mean, there's people that stay together for 50 years and are generally happy, but does that mean they met their needs all the time? No.
But then are you genuinely happy? So it's like kind of like,
Right.
can you be genuinely happy without all of your needs met on a chronic level? Because this is what what monogamous culture says. Monogamous culture says all of your need, whatever needs you have that's not met, you're just gonna have to. It's just gonna not be met. It's just because you know, and if you go and get it met, something's wrong with you.
Welcome to Sex for Couples, helping you and your partner stop stressing and start having fun in the bedroom again.
Hello, my friends. I am coming to you today with a very fun guest. We have author, social media personality, and non-monogamy expert, Cidney Green. Welcome, Cidney.
What's up, girl? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to talk to you. I was saying that like yours was one of the best pitches I've gotten, and I think you just have such a unique angle on non-monogamy that like people need to have their thoughts challenged a little bit, you know?
Yes, they do. You got to, man. If you're not challenging what the norm is, your life probably is terrible. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. Like you just can't go along with what everybody's doing. You just cannot.
Yeah, I agree. It's like if something's gonna go wrong at some point if that's all you're doing.
And you won't even probably realize that something is wrong because it's just
100%. I mean, one of the things that you wrote that really stood out to me was that non-monogamy can save a relationship. And so I'm really curious because that's something that like we just don't hear in general, especially from people who are enthusiasts and experts in this field. Most people are like, don't ever turn to this to save your relationship. So how did you come up with a different take on that?
Okay, well, I think the most authentic answer would be when I met this one. So this is my book, All Three in Me. This is the cover, me surrounded by three men, right? So the cover, so the book is All Three in Me, and it is a double meaning. So I did absolutely fuck all three of these dudes. I did absolutely. They all were inside of me, and it was a great time. But they all were reflections of me as well. I believe, you know, law of attraction. You know, your partners are your mirror. So I manifested these men. So him, Cash, he's a very sexy model. So he came along and he non-monogamy saved our relationship quite literally because twofold. One, when I first met him, I was already dealing with a man and he was great at eating pussy and I refused to let him go. Okay. So he was another one. He was great at eating pussy and I liked him, right? So then I met Cash and I said, why would I let go of a dude who's done nothing wrong to me? Just because I met somebody else that I like. It's kind of like I have this great income stream and I get another great income stream. I'm just going to cut off the other one. You want to build, right? So I ended up doing that. So the first way that saved this relationship is I didn't resent him. Had I cut off my other man, I would have kind of been annoyed at him. It would have been a little bit of resentment because number one, he lives out of town and who's going to be eating my pussy? You know what I'm saying? I want, you know? So it's like, resentment. Second way that non-monogamy saved our relationships is whenever we did, and this is in graphic detail in the book. Whenever we ended up meeting up, we realized we had a little bit of an issue. My sex drive was up here. His was somewhere in the pits of hell. So I said, what do you think we're going to do with this? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so we talked, and before this, I'd mentioned non-monogamy, and he was not with it unless it was just him having the women, and he wanted me just to not have other men. And that is absolutely that's crazy. Who would agree to that? But anyway, so after this whole debacle happened with me really getting mad at him for not fucking me more, we said, okay, well, we need to do something else. We need to actually invite other men in to please me. So those are two real life examples. Had I would have had two options with it not for non-monogamy. I had to throw him away completely when he has so many other great characteristics: sweet, loving, caring, generous, sexy, attentive. Like we had this beautiful connection, but because me and him had different sex expectations, I would have had to throw him away completely. That'd have been one option. The other option would have been to get with him and to resent the fuck out of him for being undersexed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's option number 2, because, you know, and I don't like either one of those. Those both suck, you know, but people forget that there's this other option where you can have him and other one, you know what I'm saying? Ethically. So we ended up talking about it. It became this big old thing. And let's just say I ended up turning him completely out. Okay. He is still not the same to this day. If I call him right now, he'll say, my mind ain't been right ever since you. So it's a whole thing. So
are you still together or no?
We're not I don't want no spoilers in the book.
Read the book, people.
Okay, our dynamic has changed. I'll just say this.
Okay.
Our dynamic has changed.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a big cliffhanger in the book, and I shouldn't even say that. God damn it. Anyway.
That's okay. Well, the book is a novel, so the book is kind of based on your life, but like you said, there's also some fiction in there.
There is some fiction, but these people really exist. Every last one of these people really exist. Like I said, I would say 60 to 70% of the book verbatim, and I kind of embellish about 30% of the book. But yes, no, it actually happened, and so we can really deconstruct what I just said and apply it to everybody. So monogamous culture has us in this mind fuck that one person can be everything we need all the time for 50 years straight.
Right. Seems highly unlikely.
Absolutely. Raise of hands in the put in the comments or whatever, or wherever we are. Have you ever saw that be actually true?
Yeah. I mean, there's people that stay together for 50 years and are generally happy, but does that mean they met their needs all the time? No.
But then are you genuinely happy? So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, kind of like, can you be genuinely happy without all of your needs met on a chronic level? Because this is what what monogamous culture says. And before I say this, I want to preface it by deciding to be exclusive with one person organically, not a problem. But monogamous culture is something very different. Monogamous culture is something totally different, because I don't think there's anything wrong with being organically exclusive. And that means, hey, it's me and you. Right. Nobody's got my attention right now. Nobody's gotten your attention right now. I'm good. But the minute that shifts, you need to do something about it, and you don't always have to break up. But I digress. But what I'm saying basically is monogamous culture says all of your whatever needs you have that's not met, you're just going to have to, it's just going to not be met. It's just because you know, and if you go and get it met, then something's wrong with you. And so this kind of puts a lot of pressure. So in my example, I shouldn't have to not get sex twice a day or every day or whatever I want. And he shouldn't have to force himself to have sex with me. Right. Like this, you know what I'm saying? Like
that's a common issue that I see with couples. That's probably the most common thing. It's like mismatched libidos where people are trying to navigate that. And it is hard. Like the person with the higher libido is kind of feeling like rejected or a little bit mopey or withdrawn. And the person who has the lower libido is feeling like kind of guilty for not meeting their needs and pressured. And it can be really challenging.
And then what is that? Resentment. And that spills off to other stuff. Now you slamming dishes. Now you ain't picking up the dry cleaner from the thing. You don't want to cook. You done burnt up the biscuits and stuff, you know, because you mad. You know what I'm saying? It's all kind of stuff comes up.
It leaks into all areas of life for sure.
Yes. And people are just like, well, what do we do? What do we do? Break up. You don't need to break up for that, in my view. You know what I'm saying? And he also didn't like to eat pussy. So that's why I had him. See, you have to build the team. He loved eating pussy. That's why I got him.
That's good. So you got someone else in that role on the team.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. So I think that people feel like non-monogamy is complicated. I think it's quite simple. You deserve to get your needs met. Just because this person doesn't have certain characteristics doesn't mean you throw them away. Why do we need to do that? Right. You don't need to leave them and tear your family apart. Right. You can invite help.
That's such a lovely way to think about it. Inviting help.
Yeah.
I love that.
And that doesn't make him inadequate. Okay. The reason why it doesn't make anybody inadequate is because guess what? We're all inadequate in some ways. And if I can't be everything you need all the time for 50 years straight. Yeah. Really, because people evolve, right? I mean, what if we met at 20 and we're 35 now? Right. I really hope I'm not the same person I was at 20. I hope and pray I'm not. Yeah. So that may have either the balance may be a little gone, but I'm just saying there are other ways to have a healthy, committed, loyal, fulfilling, amazing relationship rooted in unconditional love and evolution. You can do that. But monogamous culture, it's impossible.
Yeah, I think that's interesting because I've even thought about the idea that I was like, oh, okay, do monogamous people try to get their needs met from one person? And I think especially when we expand it beyond sex, we also have family members, and we also have friends, and we also have coworkers. And like, we do have all these people to meet different needs and different aspects of our personality. But it does seem like when it comes to sex, that just feels like more taboo for people, or like not allowed, or they're just, and I'm not saying everyone needs to run out and be non-monogamous. That's not at all what I believe. But I think you're bringing up a really good point, is like, what if we allowed ourselves to think of this as an option?
Yes. I would definitely agree. And when it comes down to what you said, we have people to do different things, but monogamous culture, monogamous culture, you're not really supposed to have like it's very widespread, especially, I don't know about your community, but in the Black community, a lot of people even have issues with having platonic friends of the opposite sex.
Yes. I think that goes across races for sure. Like, it just depends on the person. Like, it's just sort of like, some people are just more jealous. Some people are more controlling. And I think it comes from a place of fear, where it's like, they're afraid of losing their relationship. They're afraid of like getting their feelings hurt. But when you have to sort of keep someone under lock and key to feel secure in your relationship, then like, you're not actually secure in your relationship.
Insecurity is a very hard thing to do because we all have insecurities. I've explored my insecurities in crazy depth in this book. This is not just to get together.
That's awesome.
And ha ha ha. No, I was flailing and acting a fucking fool. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, it's some over there, like, it challenges abandonment issues. It challenges like even overall attractiveness. It challenges everything.
Yeah.
Everybody has the same insecurities. We just got different.
We really do.
Like, we got different levels of whatever the shit is, right? So anybody walking around here invincible, just this ultra secure. And I challenge that in the book, because I in certain scenarios where I felt the pressure of having to keep this secure thing. I'm like, wait, I'm insecure as fuck right now. Like, oh my God, I had to learn how to ask for reassurance and shit. Like, it was like a whole bunch of stuff I didn't know how to do. And mind you, this book, the events of this book took place between like 2011 to 2015. Okay. So it's like 2 years ago, you know what I'm saying? The events took place. But it's a lot to unpack with all of that. But I will definitely say it doesn't always have to be about sex. It could be something as simple as, I'm really into meditation and law of attraction.
Yes.
And going to meditation retreats. But my husband or wife is just absolutely not into that. Right. And yes, I can go by myself, but I want to do that with a romantic partner. It could be as simple as, it don't always have to be about balls.
That's a good point. Yeah. Like, sometimes people just are fun to hang out with, or maybe somebody is like really good at giving us compliments and being our cheerleader, and someone else is like, I'm not your cheerleader, like, you're on your own. Or we have a shared interest with someone that we're like passionate about. Like, you're right. There's so many reasons why we might want different partners.
And monogamous culture says you can't go to the Buddhist retreat with that man because you're married. So you can't do that. That's disrespectful. You can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're not going to have sex with him, you still can't tell your husband, hey, I want to go to this Buddhist retreat with this dude I met at work. I do find him attractive. I do feel a connection, but I do want to go spend a week in some robes in Thailand with him, since you're not interested in it. And I don't think I don't want to force you to go to the Buddhist temple. And I also don't want to go by myself. Why don't you go with your friends? I don't want to go with my friends. I want to go with a man. I want testosterone, and I want to cuddle a little bit after. You know what I'm saying? So I want to go over here. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, divorce, kids gone. Okay, fine. I'll just not do it. And then it's just compounded. You know what I'm saying? And so now I'm going to share something with you that is called the choice paradigm. Now, this is not mine. I did not make this up. Okay. This came from Kenya and Carl Stevens. And Carl Stevens
she spoke at my summit.
I love her.
Yeah, her communication method is super cool.
She's everything, and I've been, I've definitely been involved in their life for over a decade. Like,
oh my God, that's amazing.
Yes, over to the house. Her husband actually wrote
Small World.
Yes, her husband actually wrote the foreword, and
oh my God,
one of the dedications is to Kenya Stevens.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Absolutely. So I didn't make this up. I always give that credit.
Love
But
it.
it's the choice paradigm, and and she will explain it better than me. But at woman to woman, I want to just do an experiment, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So the choice paradigm is like why women choose certain men and in the purpose that the men serve. So let's start with number one. It's called the womb choice. So have you ever met a man who you just wanted to fuck? You don't know why. It's just like, it's like, I don't know why. Like,
you're like something is taking over. Yes.
Yes, it could be some things about you that ain't really right, but I just kind of gotta have you. Like sometimes you ignore me, but I just still.
I know. It is often those ones where you're like something is not right, but the animal attraction is there. Yeah.
And it's very difficult to control. You can't help yourself. You be trying to stand your ground and say what you, but it's like, let me just take me, okay?
Yeah.
And then you have like the support choice. Now he's the sweet guy who wants to build a family, saying all the right things, doing all the right things. He'll live with you. He's like somebody say the nice guy. He's consistent. The sex is good, but nowhere near as thrilling as the other one. But he's a good guy. You like the sex.
That's often who people marry. That one.
That's often who people marry.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's two. Then you have like the manifestation choice. He's the rich one. He's sending money, paying for trips. He's money. He got the money. He's like you're drawn to that part of him. I'm not trying to say you don't give a damn about no other part of him, but I'm just trying to say like that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Then you have like the crown choice. So you feel spiritually connected. Oh my God, we're meditating together. Like, oh my God, we connect on the spiritual level. Like I feel this spiritual thing. We can go here, we can go here. It's really amazing. And then you have, what's the other one? I forgot. I think it's like a soulmate choice, which is like you feel this spiritual draw. So I just listed like 5 different, and every man that we choose, we unconsciously put them in one of them categories. We really do. It's one, and some of them can be mixed. Maybe you could be a manifestation choice and a womb choice. Maybe you got all this money.
That's
and
true.
You can mix it, but for simplicity, we'll just say women choose men for these choices, for these reasons. So you just said you married a support choice. But a lot of people think when you marry a support choice that fire that womb choice can tap into just disappears. Not true. That's why a lot of those women end up cheating with that. With that, like, why are you choosing that dude? He got a 6-pack ass. You don't know. He's not gonna prepare the family. He probably ain't got no money. But you just any chance you get, you run over there to get that dick. Yeah, because we are multidimensional beings, and one person rarely fits all of it. And if they do, it usually doesn't last for years and years and years. So you end up needing to build your queendom, which is what I did here. All of these dudes had different shit that stimulated me. I was me, but I was so different with each man. So that would help get a little bit of clarity on why monogamous culture is challenging, because we really want all of those, right? I mean, everything I listed, you were like, ooh, if I could just combine it, man, I want all of it.
I'm not going to say no to any of those. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm not, and I feel like you can have it, but what I've studied, and I may not have ever been married before, but I pay close attention to married people and they run into the same few walls. Generally speaking, even the money thing could be solved with non-monogamy. We have money problems. Let me get my boyfriend coming in here and pay some bills. It can be very simple. Like, we don't have to have financial issues. We can invite one of my boyfriends over. Y'all talk, work out. We can work out the bills. We have another income. But I can't really do that with monogamy, because while I'm getting the money from him, I got to lie to you about where it's coming from. Oh, well, I got a raise at work. Right. I just talked to your manager. You didn't get a raise. Oh, well, whatever.
Yeah, that's what's striking me as you're speaking, though, is just like the level of honesty. Like, you're being really honest with yourself, and you're being really honest with anyone you're in a relationship with.
Yes, and it's sometimes hard, but yes, you do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying it's always easy.
Yeah.
Definitely not saying it's always, because we don't want to be left, right? If you meet the cute guy, you don't want to, like, say anything that's going to ruin it, or, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it's always easy. I would never say anything about that. Like, I would never lie and say it's easy. It's very difficult to unlearn monogamous culture. It's so ingrained. It's so difficult to unlearn it. That's the hardest part of all of this shit, is unlearning ownership thing, because monogamy is quite literally about ownership. It's what it's about. It's no other way to look at it. It's about,
I mean, marriage too. Like, women used to be men's property when they got married.
Yeah, you know the Spanish word esposa, which means wife, means handcuffs. The other word for it is handcuffs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can look it up. Yeah,
Oh, even the whole idea of ball and chain, the old ball and chain. It's interesting if we look at the language around marriage. Yeah.
That's what it's about. But ownership of usually the woman, because the origins of monogamy are very interesting. It is quite sexist within itself. I mean, the whole thing. It came about in the industrial age. Men were getting property. Men were getting houses and money, and they needed to be sure that their property was left to the right heir, which means you needed to control the womb of the woman.
Oh, that's right.
So it's like, yeah. So, but you notice how none of that has anything to do with love, morals, nothing that we give it now. It was like a business decision, kind of like marriage. It was like it's all about business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it was all about womb control. So we said we got to make sure these women are only having sex with one man, so we can be sure
that's the proper heir. It's like, I mean, it's so fucked up when you actually talk about it. Like, I'm glad it has a different meaning now, but I still feel kind of like gross. Like, I don't think I would ever change my last name if I got married. Yeah. Like, I know so many women do, and like, hey, everyone should do what works for you. And I think it's cute to have a shared last name, but also, yes, the origins of that freak me the fuck out.
It's really weird. And why am I pushing out a baby to name it after you? You did nothing. You bust a nut. Like, why? That's always kind of counterintuitive. I'm dying. I could die here, but it's gonna be named after you for what? Yeah. What have you done? Like, I'm not. Right. I love men. I love men.
Clearly, you love that. There's three in the book. Yeah.
I'm not a man hating woman at all. I don't want to live in a world without men. But let's just call the spade a spade here. I mean,
yeah, I think both can be true. I mean, it bums me out actually. Like, the word feminist has gotten like such this like ugly attachment to it, where I feel like a lot of women like don't want to identify as feminist. But I'm like, it just means that you support women having equality. Like, it doesn't mean that you hate men. Like, you can still think men are great and deserve support and need to get their needs met, and want that for women too. You know, like, I don't know. Things have gotten twisted.
That is so funny. One more small story with him.
Yeah.
He had this girlfriend. I talk about it in the book. He had this girl that he was dealing with, and she loved to give him money and pay his bills. I love that.
Yes.
Because I wasn't doing that shit for him.
Right.
And it's gonna trickle down to me. She gonna give him some money, and he gonna spend it on me. It was great.
That's kind of nice.
Like, why would I get in the way of that?
Right. But that's very secure. I mean, I'm curious with, and I love that you brought up another woman in the scenario too, because obviously the book is more about you and the three men. But like, I was also thinking those three men have to be pretty secure. So like, how did everyone navigate that? Like, both you and the men, like, how did you navigate them having other partners and you having other partners and people trying to still feel special and important and secure?
Well, August. So this is August. He's married, by the way. So he was married.
We have Cash, August, and
Cash, August, Antonio. He's a male exotic stripper.
Antonio
is a stripper. Yes.
Okay.
August is a married barber, and Cash was the model. So August was easy. He already had a woman, so I didn't really, I could kind of had to get in where I fit in. You know what I'm saying? You know, but we spent a lot of time together. It was very interesting. We spent a lot of time together, and he still is. He's like a very close friend. I can call him and talk to him all day.
Oh,
you know,
so cool.
it's and I really did appreciate that. But I went through this whole judgmental thing with myself about dealing with a married man. But I got over that, as we can see, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, he definitely, that was that. And at first, again, he wanted to be monogamous. You know, he did the whole, but he didn't really want to be monogamous.
Wait, Cash wanted to be monogamous?
Yeah, but he didn't really want to be. And the reason why I say that is because I started off the conversation. I was like, hey, you know, what do you think about having more than one wife, more than one girlfriend? Yeah. Okay. I was like, okay, great. So what do you think about, like, you know, me having freedom too? Yeah, I would love for you to have a girlfriend. I said, no, men. No. I said, I don't want, I mean, vaginas are cool, whatever, but men. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. In that case, I just want to be monogamous, inauthentic. You don't actually want to be monogamous. You just don't want me to have other men. It's not the same thing.
Yes.
So, but
I love how you started the conversation.
I always just like, because that's how you get the true answer, you know?
Yeah.
You know, because they be lying. You know what I'm saying? But that was very interesting. But anyway, so your question is how everybody ended up getting cool with it. Well, both these two, stripper and model.
So Cash and Antonio. I'm saying their names for the people who are listening on audio only.
Sorry. Cash and Antonio were long distance. And I was spending honestly most of my time with the married one, August.
Okay.
So it was pretty, and so they needed other women. You know what I'm saying? And Antonio was a motherfucker. We haven't talked much about him. Antonio was a motherfucker. Antonio drove me absolutely fucking crazy.
Okay.
He drove me crazy. I was obsessed with him. Let's start with that. I was obsessed with him. He was the most beautiful fucking exotic dancer I've ever seen before in my life. I was like, he was like some kind of mythical creature to me anyway. So I finally got him. When I finally got him start opening up, it was all type of emotional triggers that came up. My abandonment issues I just had so much like healing to do that I didn't know I had to do. I was all over the place like a little fish flopping around.
Interesting.
Because this dude. The love making was insane. The longest foreplay ever, and I give very big details on all the sex. Very, very, very. You're gonna feel everything.
I can see a male stripper kind of knowing like what women want because of like that work that they're doing and like how to get women in the mood. Like that makes sense.
Not all of them, girl. I've had sex with a few of them. Some of them are really whack. But
that's too bad. Okay.
Most of them have sex pretty much the way they perform. I will say. But I was just obsessed with him. So his whole other girl thing came along. But I don't know. But I understood that these men that these two would definitely need other women. It's a long distance relationship. I see you whenever I see you. Right. It's unrealistic to think you're going without touch and dates and estrogen for that long. Yeah. So get your needs met because that means that you're going to be in a better mood. You know, for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be able to appreciate me more. And speaking of appreciating more, we talked in the beginning of the conversation about resentment. Like when we don't have the needs met. And we don't really know why we have an attitude with our husband who isn't doing anything wrong. It's just like, I have this urge, you know, whatever. So what people don't understand is when you grant people their freedom, it's funny that I'm saying grant someone freedom as if we're talking about slaves or children.
Right.
Or pets, but you know, when you support someone's freedom and autonomy, the level of appreciation that you get in a result is unmatched.
If you are digging this episode, give us a follow on whatever platform you're listening on. This helps us to keep producing the show, to grow the show, get all the amazing guests that you want, and spread the word about sex education and lots of fun and orgasms and playfulness and happy faces. So follow the show. Thanks, guys.
Like when this one, I don't want to give away too much, but it was a scenario where Cash knew I had a specific fantasy and he made it happen for me. Yes, he knew I had this thing I really wanted. I'm just gonna fuck it. I wanted to have sex with more than one man at one time. He knew that. And I wanted them to be friends or brothers. Okay. That was just, it's something about that. I don't know. It's something about it. You know, know each other. It's like,
It's a hot fantasy. You're definitely not alone with that one. I think I've heard that from several clients. I think that is also fun. Yes.
Men say they want twin sisters, mother, daughter, cousins, best friends, men.
Yeah.
We are the same. We just have been shamed and we don't say it. I'm gonna say it. I wanted brothers.
Yeah.
He said I don't have a brother that lives here, but I got something else. And I'm gonna say, when he allowed me to have that experience, when he allowed me to be pleased by someone other than himself, and when he sat there and he watched it and he protected me, he was like, y'all, this is my wife. Y'all go act right, but this is what we gonna do. When I tell you the way that I was cooking and cleaning and sucking dick and licking balls after that, I was, yes, master, yes, whatever you want, yes, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because I can't replace that. I'm like, I got to hold on to you forever. What do you want me to do? You want me to meditate? What do you want me to do? I was like in love with him after that because women rarely get the chance to get that level of unconditional love. Yeah. We never get that. Men can somehow do, be robbers, killers, rapists, or whatever, and still get unconditional love. But a woman has too much sex, she's just unlovable. So in order to experience, like for me to experience, I have a man that loves me for real and has watched me do inappropriate things with someone that he's close to, and he still like loves me.
Yeah.
And is not ashamed of that love.
Yeah.
Boy, whatever you want.
First of all, you deserve that. Second of all, I think you bring up a really good point, and I've seen that with clients too. It's like when your partner fully like sees you and who you are as a sexual being and makes the effort and gets over their own ego to help make your fantasy happen, like it creates so much emotional intimacy. And like you said, the appreciation and the connection after that as a result is huge. And I think people sometimes underestimate that, and sex can just get like dismissed as like, oh, well, that's not the most important thing. Or it's like, well, that's a part of who you are though. So it is important.
And it's the only thing that separates platonic and romantic relationships is sex. What are you talking about? It's not important. Yeah, it is. I'm getting into this relationship because I want some sex. You know what I'm saying? I just keep home, bro. If it wasn't important, then why? Come on. Let's not be in denial. But there's a lot of reasons why we got this weird energy with sex, and religion is the main one. I'm not a supporter of religion. Religion has destroyed so much, but our view on sex has destroyed because of religion. But yes, absolutely. So that unconditional love feeling, and men get it all the time. Men can have threesomes and still get love, right? Because men are supposed to have that fantasy. Right. That's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of like society has like taken women's sexuality away from us. Like it's fucked up. It's like, well, men are allowed to have that. And I mean, I grew up just with the message of like, men are just after one thing, it's like, and that's sex, and that's bad. And your job as a woman is to keep them from getting that. And I'm like, what about my own sexuality? Like I'm, it's very fucked up mixed messaging. It's like, well, here's how you're genetically wired to want this, but then you're not allowed to want it, and you have to stop the other person from having it with you. It's just, I mean, obviously we agree on this.
And you know what's crazy about that?
What?
Women have a clitoris. And it doesn't do anything else but orgasm. That's all it does. It doesn't do anything else.
It's just like there for pleasure and fun.
Yes, it's there for pleasure. So this whole idea that men are more sexual, and it's not.
Yes.
They don't have a clit. They have no organ that is there only for fucking pleasure. We have it. What are you even talking about? What are you talking about?
I have a whole episode on the clitoris. People could go back and listen to it. But it's like,
I think I sound like, ooh, yeah.
It's important. And I think that life is hard. You know what I mean? It's like, let's have some pleasure. Life is hard enough. We don't need to make it more difficult in an area that's actually supposed to be fun.
I love my clit so much. It is so loyal. I have put it through so much over the years. I put it through a lot. You know what I'm saying? It just keeps producing this feeling. It's like, I think that's why a lot of men don't like women, because you don't have a clit. I would be resentful too.
Oh,
it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's why y'all don't like us. Some of y'all.
I mean, it's interesting because of the work that I do, but yeah, I mean, so first of all, my own dating life, guys will say they're intimidated because of my job, and I'm like, okay, we got to get past that. It's nice if they don't feel that way. That's sort of like a test a little bit at the beginning. And I also have heard from male clients that like, oh man, my wife's sexuality is like so powerful, and like it can be like a little overwhelming at times where I don't know what to do. I'm like, I love that like guys are able to say that. First of all, I think like, yes, kudos for like owning that. But I think it's made me realize, because of doing this work, like how powerful women's sexuality is. Like very powerful.
Ooh, girl. Yes, it is very powerful. And that creates a lot of fear.
Yeah.
I love men, but a lot of them categorically are very scared. They're very afraid. But as someone who has thrown very famous erotic sleepovers, very famous, some would say orgies, you see on Amazon Prime, I know how women are when they feel safe to be their true primal sexual selves. I've seen it.
Yeah, it's the safety. That's 100% how I feel as well. Like if I know the unconditional love is there, that you're going to accept me and support me and allow me to be however I am, like that's hot.
it's primal. We become
Yeah.
like we're gonna pounce on you, and you got to be ready. Number one, we have a clip. We can out orgasm you. We can out sex you. You're not gonna really. The average man can't even hang, with a woman who truly connected on sexuality and really likes the sex.
Yeah,
it's too much. I've even had homeboys who like, oh my god, I said I wanted a freak, but all she want to do was fuck. That's all she want to do.
Well,
I'm like.
Yeah, and I think though that like you're bringing up a good point, because I think women who have the higher sex drive also feel like this weird anomaly, and it's like that's not weird. There's nothing wrong with you, because they feel like the man's supposed to have the higher sex drive, and I feel like let's just please throw that out the window.
Can we just look at basic biology? If men were more sexual, why don't they have a clit?
That's a good point.
Or clit adjacent,
right? You have an organ that's only for pleasure, yeah.
But a prostate does a whole bunch of shit outside of making you orgasm.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
right.
It's really ridiculous. But women are primal. Women are very sexually aggressive. Women are more sexually aggressive than men if in the right environment. I've seen them. Unless you've been to one of my events, the erotic sleepover or the 18.
I want to hear about Tell us more about the events. That sounds fun.
They're a lot of fun. And Kenya and Rakim have been to 2 out of 3, and because they are very vital to the whole thing. Like they are part of the whole thing. But basically, 2017, I decided to have a swingers party for my birthday. It went viral. It went like international. The Daily reporters from the Daily Mail were like at my front door. I'm like, okay, what? Daily Mail? What the hell? So it's crazy.
It is crazy.
But yeah, so originally it was just one night, but then it ended up evolving to a weekend long like sexual retreat. So we brought in the spiritual stuff. The spirituality, sex and spiritual was the same thing. Orgasm is a very spiritual experience. I mean, have you ever had an orgasm? It's very spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we combine it. So it's a weekend long event, clothing optional. It's dinner. It's very high end. It's very luxury. And we have erotic entertainment. We have like something spiritual. Then we get into the sex. So like Rakim and Kenya are always in part of the sexual spirituality part. So they are all, so we do like sex magic, where we learn how to manifest, or like sexual, I forget what the hell we did the last one. Oh, erotic hypnosis. We do things like that, but to blend the two. So it's a lot of healing that goes along, because we tend to believe, that sex is just this one thing, but it's like, it's so many things. You could do so much with sexual energy. Yeah. And suppressing it is not really good. It's kind of like suppressing hunger. It's not really a good situation. You should go eat, and you should go get an orgasm. So we do that. And so in that environment, I've seen women from all ages be wild, be who they actually are sexually. Like you don't know a thing or a person or a group even until they're free. So you don't know. So we're just now getting to know women, because women are more free because of the finance. You already know the history. We could do shit without men, blah, blah, blah. So what you're seeing now is that women are free. So you get to see who they actually are. You can't see who anybody is with bondage, whether it be physical bondage or social bondage or anything.
100%. And so I do internal family systems parts work stuff. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's kind of like inner child, inner critic, but the idea is the same thing that you just said about judging other people. It's like we judge parts of ourselves and parts of our own sexuality, and we can't get to really, that's what I always say. I'm like, the judgment's like a layer where you can't actually understand it as long as the judgment's there. And it's the same with other people.
You can't. Like I can give several analogies, but I think you get the point. Like, I mean, so until someone is free to do what they want to do without any perceived or real consequences, then you see the true nature of that being, of that person. So whenever you at my events, the women are free, and they are getting their fantasies met. Like, it's so rewarding. I've seen like 50-year-old women have a threesome for the first time. Or have public sex outside of their home for the first time. You know what I'm saying? Forget about a threesome. I've only had sex in my bedroom.
Yes.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Or under my roof.
There's something to be said for that too. Like if people are like, I'm not ready for the full thing, just being in a sexually charged environment can do so much for you.
Or even if you don't have sex, just like you said, seeing other people have sex live in front of you is a whole thing. Which I'm more of a voyeur. I like to watch myself, So I was like, that's good.
You're like a smorgasbord of deliciousness.
Yes, yes. Even though I don't identify as a swinger, but I love the energy of swingers.
Yeah.
I love the energy. I love hedonistic environments. I love when people
That
in
makes
that
sense.
primal
Yes.
energy. I love to see it and because people it's like but people feel almost high. The energy you feel like it's just it's an energy, and I love it a lot.
Yeah. And sometimes it's like when you're trying to cultivate like the freedom within yourself and your own sex life, being around other people who have that. I mean, I guess that's part of the manifesting, you know? It's like surround yourself by what you want. Like go find that energy.
Yes. I love that. That's exactly it. And it's even better when you have that support. And so like I feel like, that's like the what I love about, the whole book and everything is like these type of things we're talking about are not only reserved for men. Men are not the only ones who deserve unconditional love and to get their needs met on demand or to experience their sexual fantasies. Like, I mean, and it ain't just sexual. I know we're saying that, but like, that's a big part of this shit. I mean, come on, like that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, polyamory is not all about sex, but it is a part of it.
Right.
To a certain degree, depending on what you're doing. But so
I want to ask because a lot of my listeners are men, and but most of them, which is interesting because I didn't set out for that necessarily, but I love that because I was like, by men learning all these things, they're gonna go, bring more pleasure to the women in their lives. But like, what would you tell them? Like, how can they help facilitate? Because so many of them, I think, would just love it if like their girlfriends or wives like let loose sexually. Like, what can they do to help facilitate that?
Ooh, make her feel safe. Like that sounds broad, but I'm gonna break it down. Make her understand that no matter what make her understand that her sexual desires and needs and fantasies and kinks and fetishes are just as natural as your food tastes. I really like salads or it's the same. It's just as natural. You gotta take the shame away from it. You have to empathize with the fact that she's experienced a lot more sexual shame over generations than you ever will.
Right. And people not respecting her space and her body and her saying no. There's so much of that.
Yeah. And then her even just being vocal about having sex is like really hard, So empathize with that. And you can ease her into it. You know what I'm saying? Like let her know that you're not going to leave her. Like I think a lot of you have to understand how deep it goes with women and sexuality and with the consequences to being vocal or enthusiastic about sex in any kind of way. Number one, you don't usually, those kind of women don't get chosen for marriage or for serious relationships. So you repress. And then when you get into it, when you meet a man, you don't want to do too much because you're worried about how you got that experience. So it's like, okay, well, shit. So then when you get one of them, it's like, is he going to, think I'm a freak or I'm nasty? Well, I am a freak and I'm nasty, but that's a compliment to me. But, maybe
you're comfortable with yourself.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So just let her know that you're not going to leave her. Soothe the abandonment issues. Because she thinks you're going to see her differently. A lot of women think you're going to see her differently. And the differently comes from, I'm going to no longer see you as a wife and someone worthy of motherhood. I'm going to now see you as some slut for the streets or whatever it is.
Right.
And I want men to also understand that if they do have any of those biases, that it has also been socially ingrained. So very 100%. brief history lesson. It was a point in time in history where if a man was seeking a wife, choosing a woman who liked sex or acted like she likes it. I'm not talking about being wild on the internet. I'm talking about like if she seemed to like sex or be enthusiastic about sex in any way, that's who you don't choose. You wanted a wife who didn't like sex. Like I'm just gonna give it to you straight. That's what you would aim to get. And that's very creepy because you would aim to get a woman who don't like sex, but then you want sex with her all the time. And that's very ingrained in rape culture. So it's ingrained in you to look down upon the woman who is interested in sex. I'm not talking about multiple partners. Forget that. We're not talking about nothing taboo. I'm man and woman and you acting like you want dick all the time. I'm looking at you crazy. In some cultures, you were looked at as a witch and burned at the stake for having too much of that sexual energy. So It's a lot of deeply ingrained things on why women will lie to themselves and to you and not be honest. So I think that's just empathize. Do a little research, empathize with that, and let them know you're not gonna leave them, and that her being sexual is normal.
Yeah.
Celebrated. It's good.
Yep.
You like it. You know, and that she can be a good woman, a great mother, and be an absolute wild banshee sexually.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. I see that. So it's like part of why I do this work too, is because like, don't pigeonhole us, you know? It's like, no human should be kind of pigeonholed. It's like, we're complex beings. We can be so many things at once, you know? Like I've worked with clients who had more religious background, but also really like sex and were kind of like, didn't think they could be both, like women who, so I think women also internalize that. So part of what the guys might have to do is like, maybe the guys are a little bit ahead and kind of like, you can be both. I already know that, but you might have to like help her know that. You might have to be patient while she figures that out too.
And then it's religion, so, y'all. It's a lot of religion. Like religion, religion is the main component to sexual shame.
Yeah.
And so even if you're married, you can still feel it's inappropriate to do certain things with your husband.
Yes.
I see that a lot. Religious shame runs deep into our bones and into our cells. It's very difficult to navigate that. It's so hard. Because even though you're married and you're not sinning, you still think you're sinning because you won't.
It's true. I also see that where I'm like, they're married now, but it had been so ingrained from like decades in maybe more of a conservative religious upbringing that it's like hard for them to shift mode. Like all of a sudden they're supposed to shift modes and they're like, it still feels wrong, you know? So and then I think the culture is kind of separate, but like really influenced by religion. Because I'm like, even some people who aren't even brought up religious will still have some, I think especially women, because the culture will also give mixed messages of like, be sexy, but don't be too sexual.
Sex is bad. That's what they think. Sex is bad. This is maybe slightly off subject, but on subject. I'm having this debate on TikTok right now between sexuality, porn, and boxing. So it may sound crazy. My original point was that due to religion, because the Bible is a very violent book. The Bible, I mean, God kills millions.
That's true. Yeah.
But sex is just, but he's just murdering everybody. All right. So that sets the premise of why we are more comfortable with violence over with pussy, with pain over pussy. God. So I was like, so you guys, let's think about porn in itself. Two people exchanging pleasure on camera. That's what it is. It's no other in itself. When I talk about the people being on drugs, that ain't what I said. I said, in itself, sex is exchanging pleasure. The goal is orgasm. That's what porn is. Boxing is exchanging bodily harm, concussions, and brain damage, and seeing blood.
When you frame it that way, you're like, wow, we are fucked up as a culture, right?
The goal of a boxer is to get the what? Knockout. What is a knockout? A brain injury.
Yeah, making somebody unconscious through violence. Yeah.
And blood, people, the bloodier a fight is, the more we love it.
Oh my God. So, I think about that too, just because, before becoming a sex therapist, I was just a general mental health therapist. And I also have like a very holistic kind of mind, body, spirit lens. But when people were struggling with depression, I'd be like, what have you been watching on TV lately? Well, I guess I am watching a Jeffrey Dahmer 7-part series. Again, it's like the energy you choose to surround yourself with is kind of like what you end up manifesting and how you feel. So like, it's not an accident. But when I like comedies, I like things that feel good or like are entertaining. Sometimes a little reality dating show, I could do that. But when you look at Netflix or Prime or whatever, and you look at the top 10 shows, it's like 7 out of 10 are like murder, crime, missing persons, trauma. And I'm like, this says a lot.
Well, we're mimicking the Bible. That's what the Bible is. It's a bunch of trauma and people getting killed. But the whole thing is, I illustrate that point to show how demonized sex is. You're more comfortable with violence than sex. And that's so weird. You're like,
Could not agree more.
It's very strange. And
Yeah.
people would like celebrate their son or daughter becoming a boxer and risking their lives. Literally, boxers die.
I know.
It's a very dangerous sport. Or being, but you want a porn star? It's like,
I know.
I would be more concerned about the boxing. I mean, you want to box? Oh my God, you sure?
Oh my God, I'm 100% with you on that, and yeah, I think sex work's changing a lot these days, though. And one thing I do love, though, is like one of Jesus's best. I'm not religious anymore, but one of Jesus's besties was a sex worker, and I feel like we often forget that part.
Okay, wait. Okay, school me on that. I didn't know that.
Mary Magdalene, she was a prostitute in the Bible, and they were like besties, and she's like one of the ones who like found him when he like resurrected or whatever. And I'm like, when people use religion to judge people sexually, I'm like, how do we just like omit that part? I don't get it.
Okay. Ooh, yeah. I didn't really know that.
I think Jesus was great in a lot of ways. I think it's like how people interpreted a lot of that stuff is like, that's not how Jesus would have interpreted that. Yeah.
Jesus disappeared for like 20 years or something. Like, we didn't know what he was doing. I'm sure he was somewhere fucking. I know he was somewhere getting. He was probably with Mary Magdalene. He was probably, and that's who he was with, getting his dick
stuff. Oh my God. But it's like he definitely didn't judge. You know what I mean? It's like he appreciated her. He appreciated there could be multiple facets of her. So like, I just feel like we forget that part.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of weird.
It is very weird.
Kind of strange.
All right, well, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but obviously you have so much wisdom. You're definitely an expert. And if people are interested in your book, All Three in Me, where can they find it? We'll make sure to link to it in the show notes too.
Yay! Well, wherever you want to buy books, you can find it. So Amazon, Fantastic. My site, you can go to my site and get it. Amazon, Barnes Nobles, Apple Books, Kindle, whatever the hell you want to do. You can go and do it. But in order to like know what's really going on with me and the appearances, because we got a book tour coming up, you want to be sure that you know just all3inme.com. And it's N, not N. So all three, like the number 3, like not spelled out. So
all three in me.
In me, INME.com. It's going to have all of the shit. So you can actually go see
I love that.
The Amazon documentary on the event. You can see me.
Right. Maybe you'll be hosting an orgy near them. You never know.
Yeah, we are planning a 10-year anniversary for next year. So that's going to be really exciting.
Okay, cool. Yeah. This was such a delight speaking with you. Thank you for coming on. Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll catch you next week on another episode of Sex for Couples. Bye.
Bye.
Are you somebody who wants a better intimate connection with your partner, but feels like you're stuck in the same loops, lack desire, or just don't know why things aren't quite clicking? It can be frustrating because you want closeness and connection, but instead you're left guessing what's going on, feeling misunderstood, or wondering whether things will ever feel good again. So what if instead you could get clear on what's really holding you back and how to move forward with confidence? So that is exactly why I created the Why You're Stuck in a Sex Rut quiz. So this is a personalized quiz that helps you uncover the real reasons your intimacy isn't where you want it to be and gives you the insights that you can actually act on. Through the quiz, you'll discover what patterns are keeping you stuck, the hidden emotional or physical blockers that matter most, and actionable ways to start shifting things for the better. So if you want to finally understand what's really going on and how to get the spark back, go to thebetterbedroom.com or click the link in the show notes and take the Why You're Stuck in a Sex Rut quiz.